only things that are included inside the main method will be executed. There may or may not be other functions written by the user in a program. Main function is compulsory for any C program. It is the entry point. So without the entry point, compiler will not execute the program. Now, printf and scanf, the most basic functions of C. Printf is used to print any message or anything on the screen, on the console, and scanf is used to input values from the console. So these printf and scanf are the part of stdio.h header file. So which means like these functions are the part. These functions are defined in this header file stdio.h. So if you're not including this stdio.h header file, you cannot use printf or scanf in your program. Now printf function. So the printf function is used for output. Just like I told you that whenever you want to print some message or anything on the screen, you will be using printf function. So the syntax for printf is like you will be writing printf, then the format string. Format strings are like %d, %c, %s. If you want to print the value of a variable, otherwise there is no need of these format string. You can directly pass a message here. And then the argument list, if you're writing the format string. So argument list consists of the variables whose value you want to execute in the program. The format string can be %d for integer, %c for character, %s for string, and %f for float, etc. We have a long list of format strings. Now, scanf. The scanf function is used for input. Whenever you want to take some input from the console, we use scanf function. In this, again, we need to use format strings so that you can take some values in input for a variable. It reads the input data from the console. This is the syntax for scanf. Just like printf, we will be writing scanf, and then inside these double quotes, we will be writing format string. Format string defines like what type of value you will be inputting or what type of value you will be outputting using printf. So if you are writing %d here, then you are inputting a integer value. If you are writing %c, then we are inputting a character. And here then we will be writing the variable name, right? So variable name means like we will be storing the value inputted into this variable. So like I'll show you the example of scanf. So for that we will be writing scanf. Then suppose I want to input some integer value, so I'll write %d, then double quotes close, comma. Suppose my variable is int a. I want to store this inputted value inside my variable a. So I will be writing %a. Now you can ask, what is this ampersand representing? So this ampersand sign is used to access the address of the variable, because this a represents a address memory location of the variable a that will be storing the value, right? So to access that address, we are using ampersand. In printf, there is no need to use this ampersand because we are accessing the variable. Okay, we are not making changes in the memory location that we are doing in scanf. So now let's talk about the tokens in C. Tokens in any programming language are the smallest unit of a program. Tokens in C is the most important element to be used in creating a program in C. Without tokens, you cannot write a programming language. I'm saying programming language, not only C. You cannot write a Python program or C++ program or Java program without tokens. We can define tokens as the smallest individual unit in C. For example, we cannot create a sentence without using words, right? So we cannot write a program without using tokens. Therefore, we can say that tokens are the building blocks or the basic components for creating a program in C language. Now, classification of tokens in C. Tokens in C language can be divided into the following categories. So here we are having 6 categories of tokens. First is keywords, second is identifiers, strings, operators, constant, and special characters in C. So let's discuss the keywords. Keywords in C can be defined as the predefined or the reserved words, having its own importance, and each keyword has its own functionality. Since keywords are the predefined words used by the compiler, so they cannot be used as the variable name. If the keywords are used as the variable names, it means that we are assigning a different meaning to the keyword, which is not allowed. So keywords are the reserved words that have their own meaning in a programming language. Like if we are writing main, right? Main is not the keyword, it is the name of a method. So it is not the keyword. But if we are writing like int or if we are writing float, to define a variable name. Those will be the keywords because ink has some predefined meaning in a programming language, right? So that ink is a keyword, and you cannot use ink as your variable name because that is not allowed. Ink is already having some defined meaning, and you're changing the meaning of ink by using it as a variable name. So that is not allowed. So in C, we have 32 keywords: auto, double, ink, struct, break, else, long, switch. These are all keywords, all possible keywords, allowed keywords in C programming language. Now, let's talk about identifiers. So identifiers in C are used for naming variables. So basically, any name that you are giving in a programming language are identifiers. So you can say that identifiers are the naming blocks of a programming language. So identifiers are used for naming variables, functions, arrays, structures, etc. Identifiers in C are the user-defined words. It can be composed of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, underscore, or digit. But the starting letter should be either an underscore or an alphabet. So like this is the restriction in naming a variable, that it should start only with a letter or with an underscore. You cannot start the identifier with a number. Identifiers cannot be used as keywords.